Les Banso, de la grande tribu des Bamileke, sont les descendants des Baladis en Égypte. En fuyant l'évasion arabe, ces derniers arrivaient en terre ticare appelée Grâce filante au milieu du XIIe siècle et se divisèrent ensuite vers 1360 à la mort de leur dernier souverain, le roi Ndé. Kumbo, aussi appelé Banso, est une ville du Cameroun dans la région du Nord-Ouest. C'est le chef-lieu du département du Bouy. Comme il est de coutume en Afrique en général et au Cameroun en particulier, le mariage coutumier appelé communément dot est l'étape qui précède le mariage à l'état civil et religieux. Aujourd'hui, nous nous intéressons au mariage coutumier dans cette région. Ce dernier sera très riche en couleurs à travers leurs bijoux, leurs accessoires et le vestimentaire qui est principalement constitué du togu, qui est la tenue traditionnelle des grasses filles. Il est à la base un vêtement abhorré par les membres de la famille royale dans ces régions. Mais, de nos jours, il s'est démocratisé en devenant non seulement un marqueur de ce peuple d'expression anglaise, mais aussi la tenue officielle du Cameroun pour les Jeux olympiques.
In every society, what builds it? It's those fundamental issues, and the fundamentals of every society is a family and how a family is brought up, which comes to marriage. So marriage is very important in every society, and it is not an exception for the Banso society or for the Sok society. So when we talk about the Sok people, how do Sok people do their marriage? How do they go about it? What are the rituals that must be respected? First of all, the Sok people are very peculiar when it comes to tradition, meaning that everything they do, they have to put a lot of emphasis on what was taught by their ancestors or by their forefathers, meaning they have to respect all these things. No matter what happens, if these things are not respected, the tradition, the marriage is not considered. So, what are those rituals that has to be respected? In every marriage, you first of all have to do a knock door. A knock door is what you come and tell. You first of all come with your family members to tell the girl's family that you want to marry her, so that you inform them. It's like an information. They call it in the dialect kike, meaning the start of the relationship or of the marriage. So when you come and you start with the knock door, they make arrangements of everything that has to be done. First of all, they tell you what you have to bring for bride price and everything. They set the dates and then they give every part of the ceremony. How is the matrimonial ceremony done? There are various steps. We have the first step, which has to do with the presentation of the bride. They have to come and present the bride to you. But the presentation is done in a very peculiar manner. They don't just bring you your bride and say, take your bride. No. They mix the bride with other women, and then they cover them and they ask you to choose which one is your bride. Why is this done? What's the importance or the significance of this act? The first significance is that before you marry your wife, you have to know her. And then how do we know if you know your wife? By being able to choose her even with your eyes covered. It indicates that you know your wife. So they cover the women that they bring for you to choose. Choosing shows that you know your wife, even by smell, even by just looking, even without know. You just know that this is your wife, and it proves to the family members that there's a true connection between the man and the woman. The second part of the traditional wedding has to do with the wife identifying her husband. What do we mean? After the husband identifies his wife among different women, the wife has to also identify her husband among different men. And this is not done because the people are not aware of the man's intentions. No, it's to make it clear that no, this is the man I want to spend the rest of my life with. And also the second significance is the fact that the wife needs to show her charity, show her father the charity that she shares with her husband. So what is done is that the father drinks a cup of wine, which shows that he approves of whatsoever his daughter, whosoever his daughter is going to present to him, and he gives it to her and says, "Show us your husband." So when she takes the cup of wine, she moves around while dancing, and then she goes to her husband, kneels in front of him as a sign of humility, and offers him the cup of wine. This shows to everybody present that among all the men, he is the one that she has chosen, just the way he chose her. And all of that, he has to drink all the wine in the cup. This shows that he accepts all the love of the woman that she's offering to him. It's an acceptance of the love. And then they hold hands and they go, and the father blesses their union. That is the second part of the marriage ritual. Third phase of the ritual, of the marriage ritual in the subland, has to do with the sharing. What do you mean by the sharing? It has to be something symbolic that the bride and the groom will choose to share together in front of everyone present. What is the symbolic of the sharing? The symbolic of the sharing is that it shows how their home is going to be. Are you guys going to be charitable to each other? Are you going to be loving to each other? So this is what you're trying to prove by the sharing. What is shared will be decided by the family members. In the past, in the ancient times, they used to share most of the time. They will share stuff like garden egg, kola nuts together. But with the coming in of modernism, we brought in the idea of sharing a cake. The cake now is symbolizing that ritual of sharing. So they have to cut the cake together with the husband holding his wife's hand. After cutting the cake together, they feed each other with it. In the past, they used to use either a kola nut or a garden egg, as earlier mentioned. So they cut the cake together and they share the cake as a symbol of love, because love is considered as sharing. So that's what it means by that third ritual, which is sharing.
Even your husband has a red design on his cap. That's just a sign of love he has for you. That's just a sign he's showing that this love shall grow. And then we have green on the cake.
Oh, baby.
I don't know who knows the meaning of green. Green stands for fruitfulness. What I want to ensure you is that your home shall be full with fruitfulness. Everything, everywhere you lay your hands on in your marital life, it shall be fruitful. Your home shall not lack. Your home shall have wealth. And then this cake, as you can see, the cake was baked with oven and than anything that you can imagine in life. And your marriage shall be an example for others to copy from.